Good Thursday morning of the 21st week. I'll read the gospel against Matthew, okay? Jesus said to his disciples, "Stay awake, for you do not know on which day your Lord will come. Be sure of this. If the master of the house had known the hour of night when the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and not let his house be broken into. So too you must also be prepared, for at an hour you do not expect, the Son of Man will come. Who then is the faithful and prudent servant, whom the master has put in charge of his household, to distribute to them their food at the proper time? Blessed is that servant whom his master on his arrival finds doing so. I say to you, he will put him in charge of all his property. But if that wicked servant says to himself, my master is long delayed, and begins to beat his servants, eat and drink with drunkards, the servant's master will come on an unexpected day and at an unknown hour, and will punish him severely and assign him a place with the hypocrites, where there will be wailing and gnashing of teeth." This is a terrifying line, that last part. What's the faithful servant? Is the one, see, who then is faithful? Okay? Who then is the faithful and prudent servant whom the master has put in charge of his household? Blessed is that servant whom his master on his arrival finds doing so, doing his job. See? Doing what he should be doing. I asked one of them when I was a seminarian. We didn't ever use that language. When I was in student life, as a passionist in student life, I asked one of the old monks, what would you do if you knew that Christ was going to come right now? When you he said, I'd keep doing what I'm doing. That's so profound. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Why? Because what am I doing? I'm fulfilling the obligations, the responsibilities of my vocation. It's what I'm doing, whatever it may be. If it's a brother in our system, if I'm cooking, I'm cooking. If I'm making sandals, I'm making sandals. If I'm preaching a homily, I'm preaching a homily. If I'm studying, I'm studying. If I'm enjoying a good ball game, I'm enjoying a good ball game. You see? What we are doing, when in accord with what we are called to do, in our fumbling human way, we are doing what we are called to do. Do you see? And that's the faithful servant. Not a perfect servant, but faithful, meaning we're doing what we were called to do. We're waiting on tables, maybe not perfectly. We're not a John Vitale, but we're still serving the table. We're still bringing food, you see. We may even be talking. There was a wonderful line after my father died. Can I share another father story with you? I might as well. Well, there was a Jewish couple that came to his wake. And my father, by then, my dad died in 87, he retired in 67, so it's 20 years later. I told you this story. I know I did. I repeat myself. It's a sign of my own feeble mind, but whatever. They said of my father, he made the food taste better by talking to us. You see? He made the food taste better by talking to us. See, in the uniqueness of his own personality and all that, he brought himself to the table. Wouldn't that be wonderful? Said we made those in our life better, their lives better, because we were with them. We talked to them. We were with them. Whether it's your children, your spouse, your relatives, the people you work with, the people you bump into. Did you bring something good to your relationship? Did you bring something good to the table? I mean that. I would hope, I told you this yesterday or the day before, it really strikes me now because I'm old and I know I'm not long for this world. I hope I've made a difference. And I hope will be remembered by the men that I lived with, the people I served in the parish or the university, that I will be remembered as somebody who made a difference in their lives. You made a difference, you see? You made a difference. I hope so. And maybe more. You brought some joy to our lives. You brought some laughter. You brought some wisdom. You brought yourself. You weren't hiding yourself. You brought yourself. When you walked in the classroom, it's you. It's you. Flawed as you are, you're there. And you're there to serve these kids. See, I think so. I hope that I will be remembered both by God and those who follow me in life who knew me to say he did a good job. He was a good guy. I think of that. He's a good guy. He was a good guy. He made a difference. He made us smile. He made us laugh. He made us wiser just by being in our company to make a difference. I love that line in Plato. If I got to wear it out, I'll just soon wear it out. To exist is to make a difference and have a difference made. I love that line. To make a difference. So that the world is not the same because you walk through it. What world? The world of the people whom you have loved and been loved by, in whose presence you were present, actively present. You made a difference. I'm thinking about that a lot now, especially I'm going to retire at the end of this year. And I've been teaching for roughly 50 years. And I hope it made a difference. I hope that in some ways after studying with me, they walk away a little richer than they were when they walked in. Maybe just by the stories I tell. I tell you that time the kid said, Father Vitale, tell us more stories. That's what he said. Tell us more stories. See, I'm my father's son. He was a great storyteller. Maybe I'm a decent storyteller. Tell us more stories. We love your stories. Tell us more stories. See? That's neat, isn't it? Maybe someday they'll say about Vitale, say, well, he was a chair here a long time, but what he was good at in the classroom, he told a lot of crazy-ass stories. He told stories and the kids liked them. See? Something like that. What you bring to the table is who you are. There's no prototype you have to follow. Who you are. St. Peter never looks like Christ. He always looks like St. Peter, flawed as he was and as faithful as he was. See? Christ doesn't make him into a junior Christ, such as he's a carbon copy of Christ. He doesn't even come close. See? What does he look like? He looks like Peter. Yeah, he looks like Peter. Yeah. See? Am I right? Because he was not called to be other than who he was. And who he was Peter, the first of the apostles, the one who loved Christ and stumbled all over himself in the process, from being clumsy to being, in some ways, unfaithful, but always recovering. That famous portrait in Florence, yeah, I'm sure it's Florence or Milan. There's a painting, great painting of the tear of Peter. See the scar in his face, the scar from crying. It's a great portrait, you know. I forgot who did it. I want to say, I'm going to say Michelangelo or Leonardo, but I don't think so. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know. I saw it 50 years ago. The scar in Peter's face. Why? Because he cried so much. Because he had betrayed Christ. You see? It's beautiful. Beautiful. You know? Peter's such a model of faith. Such a model of faith. Stumbling all over himself. But crucified upside down. He was faithful. In the end and always in between, he was faithful. But he was a faithful St. Peter. Clumsy. Spontaneous. Rambunctious. Faithful. Even when unfaithful, he came back repentant. Great model of faith, great model of the church. St. Pete's. All right, just a reflective thought.